Hey guys, welcome back. So I wanted to talk about Eva Longoria and what she said about Latinos being the true heroines of this election and how the results turned out the way that it did. So Eva Longoria, as you may have heard, was being interviewed on MSNBC where she was being asked about women of color in general. However, she completely brushed aside every other woman of color, specifically black women, and she turned the interview into a talk about Latina women and how they are the real heroes. And she went on and on and on about Latina women. And basically, this is what she said. I'm gonna play clips of what she said, and then I will tell you guys what I think afterwards.
Color, but specifically women of color, putting Joe Biden over the top and what that means.
I want to talk about what you just said about the women. The women of color showed up in big ways. Of course, you saw in Georgia what black women have done, but the Latina women were the real heroines here, beating men in turnout.
Obviously, I cannot play the whole clip because it does not belong to me, but this is the part that is causing the controversy where a lot of people are upset because she sort of brushed aside the efforts that black women did, and she was like, yes, of course you saw what black women did in Georgia, but and then she went on and on and on about how Latina women were the real heroes, and they own businesses and they try really hard and they turned out and all of that. And so okay, here's what I really think. When people heard this interview, they got really upset and they said that she was erasing all the efforts that black women did in helping Joe Biden win. And if you guys know, there've been a lot of talk about black women's votes counting a lot and making a significant impact in results, in election results in general. And it seems as though ever since that became common knowledge, there's been these kinds of things where everybody's trying to push their own people to the forefront. And it's no different from what Eva Longoria did here. Here's the thing. Eva Longoria later on came on to say that she did not mean it the way people were taking it, and that she was not trying to be disrespectful or to erase the efforts that black women have done. And she was actually comparing Latina women with Latina men and how Latina women showed out a lot more for Biden than Latina men. And if you listen carefully to the whole interview, which I'm not gonna link it, it's just Google it, you can find it. But if you listen to the whole interview, that was what she said. However, she also did push aside the efforts of black women. I do believe her when she said that she was not trying to undermine the efforts of black women. I don't think that that was her intention. But I think that it is very telling the way that she was asked about women of color. She was not asked about Latina women. She was asked about women of color. And many women of color put in a lot of effort in this election to have the results turn out the way that it did. However, she absolutely, definitely brushed aside the efforts of every other woman of color, and specifically black women, because she did say, yes, we also what black women did, but Latina women are the true heroes here. And she went on and just continued and completely turned the conversation into a conversation about Latina women. It may not have been her intention to be so, let me say, disrespectful in the way she went about it. But at the end of the day, when people are speaking, they're speaking what's on their mind. And your words are basically the window to your soul. So through what you say, that is how people get to know how you think and what kind of a person you are and how you view the world. So if something comes out of your mouth in a way that is dismissive towards a particular group of people, and then you go on and on in praising another group of people, then that's what it is. And people have the right to be upset. And, sometimes when people are upset about how they perceive something and it truly does come across that way, it's okay to just apologize, which she did. She apologized and she said, oh, that was not her intention. That's just the way it came out. But as far as that goes, at the end of the day, I think that that's just where her focus is. Her focus is on Latina women, not really on minority women. So when she was asked the question about minority women, she just had to turn the question into a topic about Latina women. Now, she did give a long apology, which I'm going to post here. I really don't feel like reading all of this. If you guys want to read it, that's fine. I'm going to slow it down or maybe just put pictures so that you can read what her apology says. It sounded like a heartfelt apology, and I truly do not think that she was trying to be disrespectful, but this is just her mindset. This is just the way her mind works. So if she says something that's coming out of her own mouth, then we have to take it that this is just the way she sees the world. Now, I want to talk about how Kerry Washington just had to dive in from left field unannounced because she's friends with Eva Longoria to rescue her out of the clutches of social media. And she gave excuses and saying, oh well, Eva is an amazing person or whatever she said, and that Eva cares about all women. And then she reposted what Eva said as far as Eva's apology. And I don't blame Kerry Washington for trying to defend her friend, because Eva's a friend, and it's normal when you feel like your friend is being misunderstood and attacked, you want to defend her. However, I just want to say, somebody needs to tell Kerry Washington that she does not speak on behalf of other black women. The only person she speaks on behalf of is her own mouth, and she needs to calm down. If people perceive something that is said in a particular way and it clearly came across that way, even though it wasn't meant that way by the speaker, but if people perceive it that way and they're upset about it, I feel like people just need to calm down and let people express how they feel about something, and then give the person that said it an opportunity to apologize so that things can just die down by themselves. Rather than her just jumping in, Kerry Washington, I'm talking about, rather than Kerry Washington just diving in, swooping in to just quench the fire that's like, oh no, no, you guys are misunderstanding. No, people heard what they heard, and Kerry just needs to calm down, because this is not the first time that a conversation is being seized by a Latina away from minority women in general and black women specifically. This happens a lot, and even though it's unintentional, it shows where a person's mindset is, and I cannot say that enough. The things that come out of your mouth is the window that shows us what is going on in your mind. And yeah, so Kerry Washington, she needs to calm down, take deep breaths, and just sit down somewhere. Now, as far as Eva Longoria being attacked, I don't think she should be attacked. I think it was just her phrasing. I honestly think that she was trying to compare Latina women with Latina men. I don't think she was comparing Latina women with black women. I don't think that's what it is. However, she has to be mindful of how she says things, because the fact that she had to pick a small group out of a bunch of people and say these are the heroes is in and of itself divisive. Whether she intends for it to be that way or not, a lot of people, even a lot of white people, a lot of these people that you guys call colonizers, a lot of them voted for Biden to end the madness that was occurring prior to the election. And when a conversation is being held and you pick a specific group of people and you say these are the heroines, then it's like, what does that mean? Every vote counts. Nobody's vote is worth more than the other, and everyone worked hard to get the results that we have right now. And there's no need for her to come out and say, well, this group are the heroines because they work really hard and they have businesses. And every group works hard. Every group have women that have businesses, and so there's no need for that. It's divisive, and I'm glad that she apologized. I think her apology was genuine, and I feel like people should just leave it at that, and not drag it on and on any more than it needs to. And Kerry Washington needs to calm down. And with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye guys.